Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. I can't believe I'm actually about to say this, but we're about to do possibly, I think it has to be, the most special episode of Dream Teams I could ever really imagine, because Lothar Matthaus joins me right now to talk through a Dream 11 that I could only imagine must have been very, very difficult to put together with the career that you've had. Lothar, guten Tag, welcome to my channel. And how have you found putting together your team, your Dream 11? Because such a long career and such an amazing career, it must have been very difficult.
It's not only difficult, very difficult, because I played 21-year professional. I played 5 World Cups. I played for 2 generations, not only for 1 generation, professional football player. And sure, when we can start, not only because of my dream teams, the same about my coaches. I had only great coaches from the beginning with Jupp Heynckes till the end with Ottmar Hitzfeld, and between was Franz Beckenbauer, was Otto Rehhagel, was Giovanni Trapattoni, this was Udo Lattek. Who can be the best? I cannot not decide normally. Yes. And was very difficult for me to say this player was more important for me, or better than for me, or the coach was better. Was a very hard decision, and I hope I don't lose friends now when I give to my first 11. But everybody can understand. I decide for a team who can really play a game. I don't have 5 strikers. I don't have 4 left defender because more my friends or something like this. I really was thinking I decide for a team who can play today still in the fashion, in the modern football 20 years later.
Amazing. And honestly, for me, it's going to be a real education. I've actually really enjoyed diving into the stats and just the characteristics of a lot of players that, as an Englishman, as someone who kind of grew up in the 90s, there's a lot of players here that I know my audience are going to watch, and they're gonna hear about, and they're gonna think, oh, he was annoying, he was frustrating, because these were players that were often, and looking at them, I like to see the characteristics of a team that someone would pick. And when I look at these players, that the anticipation of these players, the technical ability of these players, the intelligence of these players, that it's at such a high level. I think that's what was frustrating when you're an England fan, was the fact that you're always just a little bit too good, a little bit too quick. So let's dive into it, Lothar, because I'm fascinated to go through this team with you. Sorry, go for it.
You was talking about the 90s. You know, my biggest and my most important moment was the World Cup '90, and we had a big game against England in the semi-final. We was playing Waddle, where I was playing Gascoigne, Lineker, Shilton. Great team. Waddle was playing, and Stuart Pearce was playing. Platt was playing. Great names too. Yes, but I was playing against them. I was not playing with them because they cannot be in my team. But there was the same high quality players. But we will find many players in my Dream 11 from this game.
Absolutely, indeed. Let's dive into it then with your goalkeeper. Talk us through your goalkeeper, because if we talk about mentality, this man was a very interesting one, and I'm intrigued to see the difference between the sort of stereotypes maybe that come across to the shores of Britain and the truth about this man in particular. Talk us through your goalkeeper.
Okay, goalkeeper Oliver Kahn. Today he is the boss of Bayern Munich. Before he was crazy, not only in the games, the same in the training session. He never liked to give up one ball. He never liked to, when he get a goal in the training, he was angry. He was really fighting for everything, for each ball, for each moment in his training session. In the field, he was giving his best, and I never saw somebody like him who was with his mentality. Each player has a good mentality, but he showed his mentality. Sometimes you was afraid to play not against him. You was the same afraid when you was playing in his team, because when you make a mistake, I had sometimes the feeling he liked to kill you. Yes, and yes, he fantastic, and he make in his career great jobs. He won titles with Bayern Munich. He was one of the best goalkeeper in the history of football, and for this, Oliver Kahn is for me my number one in the goal.
That intensity you talk about with Oliver Kahn, did that mean that he really had to play with the best players because those are the kind of players that could deal with that kind of intensity on the pitch within your own team? Do you think he would have struggled to have had that kind of aggressive nature and play for a lesser team? Do you think the defence in front would have struggled a bit?
Yeah, it's sure. When somebody is pushing from the backside his team, and by him, I had always a feeling you can make a mistake. You have a good goalie behind you, and he can help you. And this gives me more security, more stability in my position. Because when I was playing with Oliver Kahn together, I was sweeper. I was not midfielder. And I was thinking, okay, maybe you are not in the right position, or maybe when you make some mistake on the field, you have somebody who will help you, who can help you, and this make him so fantastic for me.
Amazing. Just a quick question on you as a sort of complete player. We could dive into you as a midfielder, but how did you find playing as a sweeper? Did you enjoy it more? What were your feelings around that role?
We was playing like today. We speak always about fashion football. Yeah. We was playing the same with three in the defense. This was myself by Bayern Munich with Semi Kufur and Thomas Linke. We had the three, and then on the left side was Lizarazu. On the right side was Salihamidzic. It was the same system like today. You play with three in the defense, not more. But my job was not only to play in the defense. My job was the same, to push out from the defense, to go to the midfield. And for this was a perfect position for me. When the defense need me to help, I was in the right position. And when I saw the chance to push our team up, then I was coming with the ball. I give them one more option in the midfield. I was a player in this time, not only sweeper. I was a number 6 player when we had the ball. Then I was opening the game, and when another team come to us, I was helping first the defender to have stability in the defense. But the same, I was going out and was attacking the another players too. It was not only sweeper. Sweeper is you play like libero. No, this was. Not my position. I was doing the same a lot for our offense.
Interesting. And I think there's a player we're going to talk about later on who's had a similar kind of style when they played as a defender as well. But let's stick with your defence for now, Lothar. So you've gone with a back four, I think. Is that right? 4-3-3?
No, we play 4-3-3.
Yeah, 4-3-3. So talk us through your back four then. Go for it.
Back four is Jorginho, the Brazilian guy who won the World Cup '94. He was playing with me.
The original Jorginho.
The original, yes. The original Jorginho, not the Jorginho who's playing now in Chelsea. No. It's another good player. Then Jurgen Klopp, who was a strong central defender. Was playing with me during the World Cup '90 in Italy. And now maybe he's not so famous for many guys, but in Germany everybody know him. Karl-Heinz Förster. He was playing in VfB Stuttgart and in the national team in the 80s. He played, and this is poor for him. He get injured with 27 years, and he had 81 national games. Wow. He was playing in the European Championship in 82 and 86 in the World Cup. He was one of the best central defender ever what I saw. He was strong. He was good in the header. He was very aggressive. He was fast, and he never gave up. And I think these two central defender, KOHLER and Förster, there really was. In 1-against-1, that was the best what I saw in my team. And for this, I need two players in the center who stay in the defense, because on left and right wing, I had Andreas Brehme on left and Jorginho on right, and there was going up. Like today, maybe Alphonso Davies by Bayern Munich and I don't know who, Angelino from Leipzig, and this fashion player. We had these players too 20 and 30 years ago. Andreas Brehme was not a left back. Jorginho was not a right back. There was going in the offense, and left back it was the same Lizarazu, my teammate from Bayern Munich, who won the World Cup with France in '98, and this was very close. But maybe in this decision, Andreas Brehme or Lizarazu, I decide for Andreas because he made me to be world champion, because he was scoring the final goal in the World Cup final 1990. And for this, I decide for my friend Andreas and not against Lizarazu, because it's the same, he was fantastic. And this is my 4 defender line, Jorginho and Brehme on the left, and on the right, who have to go up, give balls, cross balls, can score, and KOHLER and FÖRSTER, the 2 central defender, they hold the position and has to make a wall before they come to our goalkeeper.
Yeah, you can see the coach in you here coming out. I love that you've put together a really, really solid team here. I think, do you know what, Jurgen Klopp is one that a lot of Man United fans will remember from his time, both with Juventus and with Borussia Dortmund. Often Man United struggled against those teams. And I was looking at some clips from him, and guys, if you get a chance, just search his name, Jurgen Klopp, and some of his best defensive work. He reminds me, and within your team, if you've got those fullbacks bombing on, you've got to have 2 wonderful centre-backs. And when I think of Virgil van Dijk, and I'm watching Jurgen Klopp, in terms of that anticipation, elegance, brilliant on the ball, but willing to make a tackle as well, he feels quite similar to him in terms of a modern reference for someone like Jurgen Klopp. Absolutely fantastic centre-back. When it comes to Brehme, the one thing I've got to educate the world about is the fact that when you watch his clips, there's a left-footed corner, then there's a right-footed penalty, then there's a cross with his right foot from the left-hand side. It's so rare to have a player like Andreas Brehme who could play on both sides, but more importantly, play with both feet. Did you ever notice that the fact that he was taking corners with his left foot and then taking penalties in a World Cup final with his right?
And when you ask him today how you scored the World Cup final in the World Cup final with this penalty, he don't remember was left or right. Sure, it was right. Yeah, but I don't know. Against England, he was shooting with left or with right in the semi-final. I really don't know. From him, he didn't know later. Oh, I was scoring or was shooting with left or with right. And I know Andy very well. We know each other now more than 40 years. We played together in the under-21 national team. And I have this private talking with him too. His father was teaching him this, to shoot left and right in the young age, because his father was his coach in Hamburg. He born in Hamburg, and his father was coaching this youth team where he started to play football. And with Andy, he was very strong. And Andy told me, he told me always, you have to shoot with left, you have to shoot with right, you have to use both side in the football. And this was father's work 50 years ago and more, to give him, Andreas, the possibilities to shoot with both sides the same quality.
Yes, unbelievable. Of course, you're both Inter Milan together. We move into your midfield. And normally I won't allow this, but as a World Player of the Year, as one of the greatest footballers of all time, and also I was looking into this. There's a Ballon d'Or dream team, which is the most beautiful team in terms of names I think I've ever seen. And there you are, right in midfield, next to Xavi. So I'm going to allow you, Lothar, to be in your own dream team, just to be honest, because I want to talk about you and your career. When you look at your career, when was your happiest time? Was it at Bayern Munich or was it at Inter Milan when you were just outrageous?
Inter Milan was the best time, because I am fan of Borussia Mönchengladbach. I was when I was a child, I was fan of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and my dream came true because I start my professional career in Mönchengladbach 5 years. Was a great time. I was playing with my heroes. I was in the same dressing room with my heroes. We was going to the away game by bus with my heroes. And then I was part of my heroes. Was something special, because when I was a child, I had my bedroom full with the posters of Borussia Mönchengladbach, Coach Udo Lattek, Hennes Weisweiler, player Günter Netzer, Berti Vogts, Jupp Heynckes, and this was for me, when I was a child, I had the shirts of Borussia Mönchengladbach. I had everything from Borussia Mönchengladbach. And then I come with 18 years in this club, in this team. And this was for me so fantastic, so emotional. But after 5 years, I found out, and I get the offer from Bayern Munich. When you like to win titles, you have to change. And a football player like to win titles. And this was the reason why I was changing the club and was going to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich and Mönchengladbach, big rivalry in the 70s. Right. Mönchengladbach won 5 championships in Germany, Bayern Munich only 3. This was in the 70s, and this was a big rivalry. And I was going from Mönchengladbach to Bayern Munich for myself to make the next step and to win maybe more titles, or you have more possibilities by Bayern Munich to win titles than by Borussia Mönchengladbach. And this was the reason why I was moving from Mönchengladbach to Bayern Munich. This was a good time. I won my first titles, three championship in 4 years, one cup. We was going to the Champions League final, to the Cup the Champions in Vienna. We lost against Porto, but this 4 years was fantastic for me, for the results, to make the next step. Then I played the 86, a good World Cup, and sure, I lot of offers from international high-level clubs, especially from Italy, from Juventus, from Napoli, from Milan, from Inter. And 2 years later, I was going to Inter because Trapattoni was really fighting for me. He was visiting me in Munich a couple of times in my home place, and was pleasing me and was pushing me and was really giving his best to show me, hey, Lothar, I need you. I want you. Come to Inter. And then was okay. Inter? Yes, sure.
It's better than Italy, okay, Lothar. It was amazing.
Italy in this time. Yeah, because 1 year before was not Naples in Munich and was like to make a contract with me. 2 years before was AC Milan. Juventus was coming in the beginning of 80s to Germany to offer me a lot of money, for example. But I was not ready. In 88, for me, I was ready to make this step. And the motivation was the same. The players who was playing in Italy in this moment, Maradona, Carrega, Gullit, Van Basten, Zico was playing there, Vialli, Mancini, Bergomi, the best players from the world who is now, the Serie A was in this time, make a short explanation, Serie A was in this time what is now the Premier League in 2021. The best players, the strongest championship. We had not only, like in Germany, one team who will win the championship for 10 years. This was 1 year Juventus, next year was Milan, then Napoli with Maradona, then Inter Milan with the German guys, and sometimes AS Rome, Florence, Sampdoria Genoa with Vialli and Mancini. We had a strong championship like in the Premier League with 6-8 clubs who are ready in 10 years can win minimum one time the championship. And this was fantastic for me. And the atmosphere in the stadiums was always sold out. In Germany, we had always half-full stadiums. In Italy, we was playing San Siro in front of 85,000. We was going to Napoli, was 70,000. In Rome was 80,000. We was going to the smaller city like Bergamo, sold out 30,000. It was always a great atmosphere in the stadium. And for this was the right step in the right moment. And what was nice for me, not only the life in Italy, we make good results with Inter. We won the Scudetto, we won the Europe League in this time. This was a UEFA Cup. In this time in Italy, we was talking about the World Cup 1990. I won the World Cup in my home country in this moment because I was playing in Italy, and was a fantastic time for me. And then I was going back to Bayern Munich another 8 years, make another couple of national titles, and the UEFA Cup again. And I think I make mostly in the right moment the right step.
Yes, I think that. So, from English culture's point of view, we have a real romanticism about the Italian league, but it was because there was a show that the coverage came to England in around 93, 94, because Gazza went to play for Lazio. So although your time in Serie A was such a hot spot for Italian football with the players that were there, we didn't get to see as much of you and how fantastic you were as we did just a few years later. So it's wonderful to chat to you about it. I want to talk about your midfielders, but you brought it up there, so I just want to ask you quickly. There's a comment from Diego Maradona in his own book who says that you were his greatest rival. Could you tell me just what it was like to come up against Diego Maradona? Because of course you did, both in Serie A and in a World Cup final.
2 World Cup finals.
2 World Cup finals, yeah. What was that like?
Especially, I have better memory about the World Cup final 90. He had better memory about the World Cup final 86. And I think in both World Cups was winning on the end the best team during the World Cup. And he was playing fantastic World Cup, and he bring Argentina for me alone to the final. In Mexico. And sure, Diego and me, we had a lot of competition, but we had a lot of private moments too. We celebrated a couple of times together. We had a lot of fun. We was celebrating, and we was dancing together. He was in my farewell game in Munich. I was his farewell game in Argentina. And in this time, we had the same a couple of farewell games from Platini, where we was playing together in a team. We had a fantastic time together, and I miss him really because he was the best player in the world ever. In another way, he was different how you can read it many times, maybe in the newspaper. He was somebody who was caring about the teammates. He was the same organizing and helping his teammates. And sure, he had another life than football players, but he enjoyed his life in his way, wrong or not. This I will not decide, but I spent so many nice moments with him, and really for me it was a big honor when he thought about some journalist. Lothar Matthaus was for me the best player what he played against.
That's amazing, isn't it? Did you have a strategy going up against him, or you just hope for the best?
I was always motivated. I was like Oliver, how I told you before. When I was a child, I start. What made me most angry was when I lost a game. Or minimum, when you lose a game, this is possible. This is a competition, but you have to give always your best. And I think when I was on the field, doesn't matter, during the week in the training session or in the weekend in the stadium, I was giving always my best, not only for me, for my teammates, for the fans, for the club. Sure. Sometimes was not looking like this, but maybe this was a day, it was not your day. Maybe you was tired, maybe you was not concentrate or focus. But when I was on the field, I was giving always my best.
Of course. Let's get back to your team then. I mean, I could talk to you forever, but I know you've got a very, very busy day. So you're in your dream team, rightly so, of course. Who are your other 2 midfielders?
Yeah, somebody told I have to decide. I have to play in this team. Okay, then I had midfielders too, but my 2 another teammates. One player from Bayern Munich, fantastic player, technical player, Mehmet Scholl. He was for me in this way the best number 10. More in the offense. I am I'm right back him, and another midfielder is Matthias Sammer. He was the same somebody who was fighting, was the same aggressive leader. Mehmet Scholl was more the technical player, and I think I at Matthias Sammer, we play number 6, number 8. I'm more box to box. Number 6, Matthias Sammer, and Mehmet Scholl is more the offender in the midfield. This is a good mix from all 3 players, and each player can play in his position where he make the difference in this time when they was playing on the field. Matthias Sammer, so a little bit Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich. I was playing Goretzka, and Mehmet Scholl is playing Thomas Müller. This is vary a little bit with the players now by Bayern Munich.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, it's so nice hearing you explain the blend of it all, because it just brings it to life so much more. It's fantastic. Matthias Sammer as well. It's both of those players, interesting. You know, with the longevity that you were able to have in your career, both of those players struggling with injuries at different times, and there's a few players in this team. I think that shows again how fantastically you did to stay fit for so long. It's incredible, because the pitches weren't as good, were they?
You know the story about Matthias Sammer. He was coming from east to west in the beginning of 90s, and he was immediately somebody who showed he can make the difference. And then he was making the difference with the German national team in England 1996 when they won the European Championship. I think he was the best player in this tournament. He was winning the Golden Ball 1996, and the same with Borussia Dortmund. He won the Champions League final in Munich against Juventus, and a couple of championships with Borussia Dortmund. Later he had a couple of problems with his knee. He has to finish very early his career, and then he was coaching Borussia Dortmund. He made good jobs, the same like a team manager by Bayern Munich. And but we speak what he was doing on the field, and he was really a leader in the middle of the 90s for the German national team and for Borussia Dortmund.
Absolutely. Let's get your front 3 then. Talk me through these players, because again, it's been such a lovely education for myself to kind of look into these players and find out a little bit more, because I know them from those World Cup finals, but I don't know sort of the men. So talk me through your front 3. Okay,
I have 3 for me great strikers, but you have to find the position of them. Yeah, and I told you before, BREHME and Jorginho has to go. This means I don't look for strikers. They are playing very wide on the side. They're coming more in the middle, in the half position, to open the ways for BREHME and Jorginho. And we start with the center, with number 9. This is Rudi Völler, who World Cup winner from 90, great player in Germany. He was playing for AS Rome. He's till today a hero in Rome. When he come to Rome, everybody liked to touch him. He was really scoring a lot of goals for Germany, and played the same with me, like LITTBARSKI, like Andreas BREHME. We are the same age, around 60 now, right. Born 61, and 60.
How are you 60? I can't believe it. You look fantastic.
Yeah, it's like this. Then we was going up together from the under 21 national team 1980. 10 years later, we won together the World Cup. This is a story of us 4. Always, and we was not only on the field together. We had the same privately, many moments together, and we had a lot of fun together. This was really the boy group from the German national team. And we were supporting each other, not only on the fields. The same, we was caring about each other. We were supporting each other, and when somebody had problem from us, we was helping each other. And Rudi Völler is a perfect striker for me, because in the box he was like a snake. He was like a snake. He found always his ways. You cannot say he was a great header, or you cannot say he had a strong shoot, but he was always there where he has to be.
I was watching some of his finishes, and he seemed to enjoy a little dink or a little lob. He was very cheeky.
Yeah, he's something. Yes, exactly. And I cannot say he was something special. He had power. He was walking like Ibrahimovic or Lukaku. No, or he was not scoring like Kane, for example. He had from everybody something, but nothing special. But on the end, in his position, you have to score. and he was scoring very well. Rudi Völler, it's my number 9. And then half right and half left, because they can support Rudi, the number 9, in the box. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, more from the left side. He was playing in Bayern Munich the same, a little bit more from the left. For me, perfect striker, perfect offender. He was like a little bit Ronaldo, the Portugal Ronaldo now, from the left side. Then he was coming in the box. He was very fast. He was scoring so many goals. He was so powerful. And he had a good technique. And Karl-Heinz was playing 2 World Cups with me, 82, 86. By Bayern Munich, he was, for me, one of the best striker ever in the history of Bayern Munich and the German football. And Karl-Heinz won the same, the Golden Ball, I think twice. And he was so fast and fantastic. And you can never catch him, because he was so quick and make good turns, and we was so strong. And for this, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge was one of the best striker ever in the German football. And on the other side, I have a little bit of different player. Pierre Littbarski was some tricky, like Mehmet Scholl, 1 against 1, good turns, good dribbling. Yeah. Yes, very difficult to stop him. He was really very fast, not with his speed, with his turns. And for this was very difficult for the defender to catch him, to stop him. And for this, I think Littbarski and Rummenigge was coming here. Rudi Völler is here, and then Jorginho and BREHME was going on the wing, and then myself has to come.
Yeah, there you go. Of course,
box to box. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's a good team, but I can say a couple of players more who can play the same in this team. But I think with this team, you can play today. Yes.
Oh, definitely.
The fashion football from the day too.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's it. I think when I look at this, often when people put their dream teams together, it is a bit of a reflection of the players of what they see as great assets in players. And when I look at this team, I'm just like, it's intelligent, it's technically fantastic. Littbarski, looking at some of the clips of him, just amazing little, simple but a fantastic little chop that he had, or the outside of his boot just to get away, very wiggly as a dribbler for the team. But everywhere, looking at clips of yourself, it's simple, but it's frighteningly effective. The beauty is in the simplicity. Like not loads of stepovers, but driving, scoring goals, making the right pass. This is an absolutely fantastic team, Lothar. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. Final question I always ask at the end of every Dream Teams is, who would be your manager for this team?
Oh, I told you on the beginning, I had a lot of good manager, but I say for myself, because he's a good friend now, he was my manager. Before we played against each other, 82, 1 game against each other. He played in Hamburg, I played for Bayern Munich. And it's a big honor for me, and I'm very happy to have him like a manager. And now I have him like a friend. And we are very close to each other. We have telephone calls every week. He is 75, 76 years old now, and his name is Franz Beckenbauer.
I think I've heard of him. Yeah, amazing.
I'm so happy to have him so close with me, because 50 years ago, I was watching him. Then I saw him live in the stadium. Then I was playing 1 game against each other. He come back from New York to Bundesliga. He was playing in Hamburg. I played for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and we had 1 game against each other in Hamburg in 82. Then he was going back to New York. In 84, he was my manager in the national team. And then he was believing me like captain. And we won together the World Cup. Then he come to Bayern Munich twice. And we won the championship 94 and 96, the UEFA Cup. And after this, we had so many private things together. I visit him monthly. He's living in Salzburg. I go to him. We are talking about football. We are talking about life. And it's so nice to have him so close to me.
Amazing. That's absolutely wonderful. Lothar, Can I ask you just one final question? Because we will probably never cross paths again. So I want to soak up as much as I can. I promise you this is my last question. As a man who's lived his life in football, and even with your team like this, you know, you've put it together and it fits beautifully. It's a really simple question, but what do you think is the most important thing in a football team? What do you think is the most important thing when it comes to football players and a football team?
You have to work for each other. You have to help each other. You're a team, and a team has to support each other. This is the most important. Sure, you cannot say always nice things to each other, but you have to need respect. And these are not only my friends here. Well, I had fights, I think, with everyone. I had a fight sometime in my career. But on the end, you have to know what you want. And the team has what they have to do. They have to give the best for each other, and when you give the best for each other, you will win. You will win many games. You make good results, and I think the same the respect. Yeah, we can fight, but after the game, you have to give a shake hand to you or say, "Hey, come on, this is football. Football is aggressive. Football is passion, and football is fighting." Yeah, but later, you have to forget what's happened maybe sometime during the game about talking or about doing something. Yes, and I think with all these players, I can go today to drink one beer together, and we like to talk. We are happy to see each other. Doesn't matter you was fighting against each other, or you was playing in the same team. You had sometimes a problem with each other. Doesn't matter. But I am sure all these guys, what are in my team, were happy when we have today a dinner together.
Phenomenal. Lothar, thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me to chat. It's been honestly a career high to have a chat with a man like you with what you've achieved in the game. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All the best for you. Thank you. Stay healthy, and all the best. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Lothar. Amazing. Thanks a lot. Wow. So there you have it. Lothar Matthäus' dream team on the James Lawrence Allcott channel. What a moment for me. Thank you so much if you've been enjoying the Dream Team series up till now, or supporting the channel in any way, shape or form. Thank you for Tom, who you guys won't know, but Tom sorted out that interview. So that's pretty cool as well. And of course, thank you to Lothar. If you've enjoyed this, hit the like button. Let me know who you would love to see, because if we can get Lothar Matthäus, we can get absolutely anyone on Dream Teams. Let me know in the comments below which players you would love me to chat through their ultimate dream team. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.